Hey everybody, welcome once again to NoDQ&A Video, the official Q&A video series of NoDQ.com. This Sunday is WWE Elimination Chamber live on pay-per-view. You can check out the coverage at NoDQ.com at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Actually, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific for the pre-show, if you even care about the pre-show. Which, if you do, I don't know why. But anyways, let's get right down to your questions. This first one comes from The Practical. Hey Aaron, can you rank the participants in the Elimination Chamber from most to least chance of winning the match? This year's Smackdown Elimination Chamber match is certainly going to be interesting in terms of who ends up winning. I don't think there's really a clear-cut winner at this point. There's a lot of different ways that WWE can go. A few months ago it looked like Big Show was going to have this dominant run as world champion and perhaps face somebody like Ryback for the title. And then there was the talk of Randy Orton and Sheamus having a match for the world title. But then all of a sudden, Alberto Del Rio won the world title, and that kind of threw everybody off. And now who knows what direction WWE is planning in terms of the world title. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of different ways they can go. I'm sure they already have the matches planned out, but it's just a matter of which match ends up being for the World Heavyweight title. You could have Chris Jericho win. On the NoDQ.com poll, Chris Jericho has the most votes. He could win it, and then in the world title match, you could have Del Rio win, and then Dolph Ziggler comes out and cashes in Money in the Bank, and that leads up to Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania for the world title. So that's one way you can go. Randy Orton could win it and turn heel and challenge Alberto Del Rio for the title. Jack Swagger, I think that Jack Swagger is a wild card at this point, but there's the talk of him, now that he's got Dutch Mantel as his manager, he's doing this whole pro-American, anti-immigrant gimmick. So we could see as a surprise Jack Swagger win and go on to face Del Rio at WrestleMania. I mean, that would surprise me a little bit if that happened, but it does seem like WWE's going in a direction of doing Swagger versus Del Rio at some point. So I don't know if it's going to be WrestleMania or down the line. We'll just have to wait and see. Mark Henry, Mark Henry just came back. He's getting a huge push. You could do Mark Henry against Alberto Del Rio. So I mean, there's so many different possibilities. I don't really see Daniel Bryan or Kane winning. I think that they're in it, just so they have something to do on the pay-per-view, and they'll probably eliminate each other or something like that to continue their dissension. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I think it's good that it's not predictable. That there's a lot of different ways they can go. So certainly an interesting match for this Sunday. This one comes from Nebo CSID. If you called the shots, who would make it into the 2014 class of the Hall of Fame? Well, if it was up to me, my number one pick, it's WrestleMania 30. It's a milestone. My clear number one pick would be Randy Savage. Randy Savage is someone who's long overdue to be in the Hall of Fame. One of the all-time great WWE characters. Why he's not in it is still a mystery to all of us. So I'd love to see Randy Savage in, and there's this whole thing about Randy or Lanny Poffo saying that Randy's wish was for the entire Poffo family to go in. So you know what? I would do whatever it took to get Randy Savage in. If that meant inducting the entire Poffo family into the Hall of Fame, I would do it. I would do whatever it took. Next on the list would be Ultimate Warrior, and I think WWE has made a push to get Warrior into the Hall of Fame. But the big problem is that they're worried that they'll make a deal with him and then he'll back out at the last minute. They'll advertise him and everything, and then he'll no-show the event. So that's a big concern. The Warrior doesn't have the best track record, in terms of being reliable. And then of course there's Owen Hart. And I really do believe that WWE wants to put Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame. It's just a matter of his wife Martha being opposed to it, and they want to respect her wishes. But yeah, if I could decide the three top people for the Hall of Fame next year, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, and Owen Hart. And you know what? I'd love to put Demolition in there as well. As far as tag teams go. Alright, this one comes from Dev0094. Hey Aaron, what did you think about the stipulation added to the CM Punk Rock match? Do you think this could end up hurting the result of the match? Well, I think they're doing the stipulation as a way to, you know, go to the next level. They already had, you know, their match at the Royal Rumble, and this is the follow-up, so you want to kind of up the ante a little bit and, you know, make it more unpredictable, so you're not sure what's going to happen. You know, there's the whole thing with The Undertaker right now. Will he be appearing at WrestleMania? So this could be WWE's way of having a backup plan. If Undertaker is not doing the match, they can have some sort of screwy finish where CM Punk regains the title, and that sets up a triple threat at WrestleMania. John Cena versus The Rock versus CM Punk, which I'm guessing if Undertaker is not at WrestleMania, that'll be the backup plan to do a triple threat match. So that could be a reason why they're doing that stipulation, but I also think just to add a little bit more intrigue to the match and keep people guessing as to what's going to happen. Hey Aaron, or this is from Liam Tennant. Hey Aaron, big fan of the show. What gimmick did you prefer? Face Hulk Hogan or Hollywood Hulk Hogan? I personally preferred Hollywood Hogan, thanks. Well, I don't think anything can compare to Hulkamania. You know, that's what it was all about. Hulkamania, Hulk Hogan, the biggest star in the 1980s and 90s. You know, an icon, perhaps the most famous professional wrestler of all time. So nothing beats that in my opinion. But you know what? Hollywood Hogan was a great character, and it was a great way for Hulk Hogan to reinvent himself. And it definitely changed the business when he turned heel. But you know what? It was also Hall and Nash being there and the whole NWO gimmick. So there were a lot of different things that made the Hollywood Hulk Hogan character a success. So it wasn't just Hogan on his own. He had a lot of help as well, you know, from Hall and Nash, Bischoff, and everybody else around him. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. You can submit questions, formspring.me/AaronRift, subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW, and I will see you next time for more NoDQ&A video.